7 miles below the surface of the Pacific Ocean, in a place where the pressure would crush a nuclear submarine like a soda can, something is alive. Something is moving. Something is thriving in conditions so extreme that scientists once swore life there was impossible. Welcome to the Mariana Trench, the deepest point on Earth, a place more alien than the surface of Mars. And what we have found down there is rewriting everything we thought we knew about the limits of life. The Mariana Trench stretches for about 1,500 miles across the floor of the western Pacific, a crescent-shaped scar in the Earth's crust where the Pacific Plate dives beneath the Mariana Plate. At its deepest point, Challenger Deep, the floor sits nearly 36,000 feet below the surface. To put that in perspective, if you dropped Mount Everest into the Mariana Trench, its peak would still be more than a mile underwater. The pressure at Challenger Deep is over 16,000 pounds per square inch. That is roughly 1,000 times the pressure at sea level. At that depth, the water temperature hovers just above freezing. There is no sunlight. None. Not a single photon of visible light has ever reached the bottom of the Mariana Trench. It is the closest thing to outer space that exists on our own planet. And yet, life finds a way. In 2019, explorer Victor Vescovo descended to the bottom of Challenger Deep in a specially engineered submersible and found something nobody expected: a plastic bag and a candy wrapper. Human garbage had beaten human exploration to the deepest point on Earth. But he also found something far more interesting: translucent, ethereal creatures drifting through the absolute darkness. Amphipods, shrimp-like crustaceans that have evolved to survive pressures that would instantly kill virtually any surface organism. Their cells contain a molecule called piezolite, specifically trimethylamine N oxide, that prevents their proteins from being crushed and deformed by the immense pressure. They essentially have built-in biological pressure suits at the molecular level. And they are not alone down there. In 2023, researchers discovered colonies of xenophytophores on the trench walls. These are single-celled organisms, but do not let that fool you. Some of them are over 4 inches across. A single cell you could hold in your hand. They are among the largest single-celled organisms ever discovered, and they thrive in an environment that would obliterate almost any multicellular creature. They build elaborate shells from sediment, gluing together sand grains and the tiny skeletons of dead organisms into structures that look like abstract sculptures. Even deeper, around hydrothermal vents where superheated water, reaching temperatures over 700 degrees Fahrenheit, erupts from cracks in the Earth's crust, entire ecosystems flourish without any connection to sunlight whatsoever. Giant tube worms, some over 6 feet tall, cluster around these vents. They have no mouth, no stomach, no digestive system at all. Instead, they harbor billions of chemosynthetic bacteria inside their bodies that convert hydrogen sulfide, a gas that is toxic to virtually all surface life, into usable energy. These worms are essentially living chemical factories, powered by the Earth's own heat. The bacteria inside them perform a trick that was thought impossible before their discovery. They create organic molecules from inorganic chemicals in total darkness. This is not photosynthesis. This is chemosynthesis. And its discovery at hydrothermal vents in the late 1970s fundamentally changed our understanding of where life can exist. If life can thrive without sunlight, without oxygen as we understand it, at crushing pressures and extreme temperatures, then the potential habitats for life in the universe just expanded enormously. Jupiter's moon Europa has a subsurface ocean beneath miles of ice. Saturn's moon Enceladus is spraying water vapor from hydrothermal vents into space. If life can exist at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, it could exist on those moons too. But perhaps the most unsettling discovery from the deep trenches is what we have not found. We have explored less than 5% of the ocean floor in any detail. The Mariana Trench alone could contain species we have never imagined. In 2020, a deep-sea camera captured footage of a creature at over 26,000 feet that researchers could not identify. It appeared to be a type of jellyfish, but its body plan did not match any known species. It drifted past the camera like a ghost, translucent and pulsing, and disappeared into the black. We do not know what it was. It has never been seen again. Sonar mapping of the deepest trenches has detected acoustic anomalies, sounds that do not match any known geological or biological source. The famous bloop, recorded in 1997, was an ultra-low frequency sound detected by underwater microphones across the entire Pacific. It was eventually attributed to ice cracking in Antarctica, but similar unexplained sounds have been recorded at extreme depths with no satisfying explanation. What is making those sounds? We do not know. We have mapped more of the surface of Mars and the Moon than we have of our own ocean floor. We have sent more people into space than to the bottom of the ocean. The deepest parts of our own planet remain more mysterious, more unexplored, and potentially more full of life than anywhere else in the solar system. Every time we send a camera down there, we find something new, something impossible, something that forces us to rewrite the textbooks. The Mariana Trench is not a dead zone. It is a reminder that life is far stranger, far tougher, and far more creative than we ever gave it credit for. And we have barely scratched the surface, or rather, the bottom. If the deep ocean fascinates you, subscribe, because we have only just begun to